they're able to get their 5th in right now. Who is the player they're missing? They are missing Monty.
Monty.
Which...
So, Monty, if I remember correctly from the match today, Monty was probably one of the big playmakers too, so that's going to hurt not having him a little bit. Obviously, again, that could just be an on-day/off day thing for him, but from just recent performances overall that I've seen from Monty, he's a pretty big impact player, and that could hurt not having him.
Yeah, and I'm not positive on it, but I think potentially he's their in-game leader as well.
That's actually Max. They brought Max.
Oh, did they?
They bought Max
to do
in
the
partially.
IGL?
Yeah, and that's another thing too with Ace that could either help them or hurt them is the fact that now they have a European calling the shots, and you know the European strategy book may be completely different from the strategy book that they're used to. So while again the strategies may be superior, they're not entirely used to them just as of yet, and this could hurt them if they haven't had enough time to practice it.
It's all about like we said, it takes time with these new rosters and these changes to come in, but Peck's coming in with that Tech 9 does pick up Anger, and now Peter's going to be on the retake as well. He's got Lex there in construction who does pick up 1, and so there's a bit of a change back and forth as Disciple picks up Peter who was on that rotate. So now Lex is just going to hold back and wait for his teammates to come before he tries to do this retake, and he's getting pressured a little bit, but he's got a teammate backing him up.
Here we go now. 2 left here for Luminosity Gaming as they're going to try to go for the retake. Naf coming up here first, fails to get that shot, so now it's all on Pyth at this point, or Pith rather. Now as we see him too, he's unfortunately again going to get taken out by Disciple, and Ace will take the T-sided pistol round with a man down. And now just in time for that too, Monty's going to rejoin the fights, and he's going to be able to join up with the rest of the team.
Yep, so he does get in here, and actually oddly enough, because of that, they pick up the first round with the disadvantage, the man disadvantage, and they get the bomb plant, and they're actually going to, on second round, AK and Galil up. So
they're like we talked about earlier, we know that their T side is greater, so they're just going to try to take as much of an advantage as possible here in the first half, similarly to like we saw with Liquid over on our last game.
Yeah, they just got to be really nervous. We know how dangerous the second round is, and when you buy up, you know, these rifles, it can be detrimental, you know, especially Luminosity's their deagles have been ridiculous lately, but Peter does get dropped early, and you're going to spam down a little bit, picks up 1. They just got to worry about it, because the pistols in this game, if you lose this round now, or even lose a lot of players, and you get down and you win with only 1 guy up, you've spent so much money on this, so they've got to be careful. Lex does have the deagle on his back, and he actually gets a shot in onto Disciple, and then Naf has the CZ, and they're rotating back and forth, and actually good. Looks like they're still just sitting on banana, but the CTs are worried about a potential rotate back to the A bomb site. I think they're finally realizing it's not going to happen, and they're doing a hard rotate over here towards the B bomb site.
And here comes Ace Gaming's push now, being so cautious with this, but Lex as well still holding nice shots, coming off there with his deagle at the moment. The action's starting to come up now, and comes the rotation from Naf as well, as he's going to be able to join this fight. Tries to pop out, grab some shots, not going to happen though. Ace's players, 2 of them, sitting below 30 HP at this moment, and Lex is going to grab a nice headshot there. Down goes Monty. That's a 1 dig for him, and at the same time, you've got to realize here too, in comes Pith. He closes things off. He's going to be able to take out Max. Vez is able to eliminate him, and now we're down to a 2 versus 2, and with 20 seconds left on the clock, Ace Gaming is racing to get that bomb down on the A site, and they're going to have just enough time to do so. Half is starting. Oh, good.
I was just going to say, they are going to get that bomb plant in, because they were going to come over and actually, with Vez being so low, if Naf can get the angle on him, he's just got Disciple to deal with. They can get in there and take this bomb site, especially with this rifle that has now been picked up by Lex. So they've got to be really careful here on this T side.
Trying to jump up here, grab some shots, but it's not going to happen, and Lex will fall on at the same time too, so Ace Gaming able to recover, losing 3 players along the way, so definitely not the best scenario for them, but they're still going to be able to take the round and now hold a 2-round advantage against Luminosity.
Yes, so the AK buy does end up working out for them, but like I said, so they only kept 2 players up after that, so they do that full AK buy, and only 2 of the players were able to remain up, so now they've got an ump on the back of Monty. They do have AKs across the back of the rest of them, and Peter actually right now is just sitting in CT spawn, so we'll see what happens with that. But it was, and because of that, they had to rebuy up, and now, like, if they, again, their economy is hurting, and so the first round that they lose is going to be very difficult for them. I don't think it'll be this one, because this time Luminosity not able to buy up any of those expensive pistols.
So they're trying to push up. He's going to take down Anger, and that's going to clear out things over here at B. They've got a free plant situation coming in here. Peter's going to try to blind fire with his USP to see if he can grab any headshots, but that's not going to be happening as he's smoked off now. And in come the players from Ace Gaming. They're trying to rotate. Naf is on the way over too, but with only USPs, they're not going to be able to do too much on the retake side. Peter, though, still trying to sneak the smoke over here, blocking off his angle from the school and garden side. So he, again, won't really be able to do much until that smoke is cleared. It has cleared back over here from CT, though, but Naf is not going to be one to take a risk on outpeaking here. trying to see if he can grab any headshots. Ace also being very patient right now. 2 players stacked on new box, and they're going to keep Max as well, just by the bomb, which is planted outside of first box. So again, LG not going to be pushing this one. They're going to hang back, see if they can grab any exits here. And with that, they're going to hand over the 3rd round to Ace.
So,
Good.
no, I was just gonna say, Naf doesn't have any armor or anything else. He just survives the round, basically. Gets the money that he's gonna have for this round, and so now they're gonna be able to buy up. Interestingly enough, though, because of the equipment that they were picking up in the 2nd round, again, those pistols and the nades and stuff that they picked up, they're not actually going to have an op on the back of Peter, which is, you know, what you would normally expect from this team, is to have him with that op. So he's not going to have it. He's got full nades, though, with his M4, so that's what he opts to have. And we'll see where he's going to play. He is playing up towards this archway, watching in towards mid, so we'll see as the rounds progress if we ever get the op on his back. But right now, not there, and Anger's push up on Banana. He's got a couple of terrorists to deal with who are pushing up, and now he's going to fall back because he got a little bit nervous with those flashes coming in.
You're going to see Disciple along with Pex being the ones to push up. Banana here still holding back for the time being, though, as they play the timer down just a little bit, see if they can catch any aggression like we had coming there just a few moments ago from Anger and Lex. Banana, but they're not going to peek out far enough as so to reveal themselves. So now we see here too Luminosity with 3 players holding on the ace site. Naf iron sighted, and well, not really iron sighted, but laser sighted, I think would be a more appropriate saying. In over here onto the balcony. But again, no action going to be happening there as Ace still yet to decide as to exactly where their push is going to be. Max is going to take the lead with the op, believe it or not, now as he starts to push over here towards Arch side and wrap around that. No rotation from Luminosity just as of yet. Really wearing down this timer at 30 seconds now. So they're absolutely going to have a perfect execute here on the site. Otherwise, things are not really going to go the way they want it to. Max just trying to clear out as much as he can. So push forward here with the op, too. So odd to see him out with this, but there you go. He's going to do some work. He's able to grab down Peter, and now the rest of the guys over here on Ace, they're just going to go a complete 360 and going to go for the B site, but they've only got 10 seconds to clear it and get the plan. Anger start things off well as he's able to get a headshot to take out Max, and here we go. Lex holding beautifully here. Anger as well takes out Pex into sight before Monty eliminates him. Anger's going to grab the final kill with only 2 seconds left on the clock. The Luminosity rather, they are going to grab the first rifle round here and put themselves onto the board.
That's one of the dangers of doing those really slow executions. And you know, teams like Navi, who are historically, like, they do it all the time. Like, they wait until the last 30 seconds to execute, especially on this map. Like, that's just what they do. And so the danger about it is that very scenario right there where you had 30 seconds, they had to sprint into the bomb site, basically. You know, they sprinted to the bomb site because they rotated back all the way from mid. Keep in mind, they had everyone up in mid. They had to rotate at the last 30 seconds, rotate everyone back from mid, up Banana, into the bomb site, with only Maxaki who had pushed into CT spawn. So they couldn't clear that bomb site in the time that they had available. So it's just one of those dangers that if you're going to execute that late, you better be very confident in, like, your quick takes, your nades that you're going to get into the bomb site. But right now, Peter is going to get pushed as they're executing onto this mid, and Pit picks up 2 real quick with a spray down. He picks up a 3rd as well, and all of a sudden he's just going ham.
Peter's going to grab Peter's going to grab the last 2, and there you have it. Luminosity take their 2nd round now. And Ace Gaming are going to be on probably a full save here for the 6th round, which should make it fairly easy for Luminosity to clean things up and tie us up. And a possible 3-3 set score here. Overall, though, in the first 5 rounds, not too bad at all for Ace Gaming. As they take the pistol round, they're able to get a nice sort of 3-round start. But now Luminosity, as we get into the rifle rounds, they're coming back strong. And this is where they absolutely need to come back strong, as it is obviously going to be on the CT side, where they do have the advantage. Now we see here, too, exactly what Ace Gaming is going to be playing for. They're not splitting themselves up as heavily as they were before. Already some action as they try to work their way over here into the apartments. X is going to be working his way up. The important players right now going to be Naf outside of the balcony if they decide to push that. Pith as well is going to get some action here very shortly. Boiler and Mid are going to get played immediately. Clotheslines, Max and Pax, both those players fall. Grabs a 3rd and a 4th just like that. Bez and Monty go down, and Peter steals the ace but cleans things up. That offensive from Ace doesn't go anywhere, and Luminosity will tie things up nice and easy.
Oh man, you have to on those pistols. Like, I know sometimes on pistols you get to a point where you just want to try to push something, get some early frags, maybe be able to get a quick plant. In that round, it looks like they potentially were going to try to do a wraparound but you got to pick up some kills. Like it's really at a point in CSGO with how strong the pistols are. You can't afford to have a pistol round where you don't drop anyone. It's it's just too hard on your economy to have that happen. This round they got full AKs up across the board, and again, Peter actually with a FAMAS. So eventually, I think if he was to die, he'd probably pick up that op with the guns that he's been playing with. So next time he dies, we'll probably see that on his back.
Lex is going to open up the round for Luminosity as he takes out Max, the European player from Ace Gaming. We'll see Peter as well, almost able to grab Disciple, but that smoke obstructs his vision just in the nick of time. Pith as well, holding a corner against Vez right now, as slowly we see Ace Gaming start to make a slow push over here towards the A site. LG, though, playing it safe, not one to overextend. They'll hold back and sit themselves onto the A site, just trying to hold for as long as humanly possible. And over here on Banana, too, Lex is going to grab a second one for his team before finally falling down to Monty, who's pushing up Banana with the bomb care at the moment. So the play is going to start to move over towards that site. And Monty grabs the first frag on B site here, too. He takes down Anger. So here comes Peter, going to try to pop in, see if he can grab anyone, but it's smoked off. So it's not going to be happening. And now we have to see Luminosity going for a full rotate back over here towards the B site if they want to try to retake it.
So we'll see. They've got the players coming over now. They got the 2 in CT and 1 over in construction. They're going to get a smoke down so they clear out Banana. I don't have to worry about that immediately, but they have Monty in the dark area to get taken out. He gets to get dropped, and on this retake, they just take him out 1, 2, 3. And all of a sudden, with Pitt picking up 2, he is playing extremely well right now. If we go ahead, look at the scoreboard. In just 7 rounds in, he is currently 11-4.
And again, we've definitely seen that. He's had those huge plays at that 4K just 2 rounds ago, and with this one too, coming out big with 2 kills on the retake, able to scout out exactly where those players are, eliminate them, and there you have it, man. There's that European skill coming into play here in North America, so far leading it, the guys on LG. Now as we see here too, heading into the 8th round, still full buys from Ace Gaming. They are going to push it a little bit. 3 players completely broken. Pex and Max sitting only with 150 at the moment. So now we see here what they are going to be trying to push for. Other players working of alt mid right now. Thankfully, no one's going to take a chance and peek out of the window there, so won't see anyone getting firing squatted because of that. And now as we see here too, the rest of Ace Gaming going to split. They'll send 2 into the apartments via the T-steps, and 2 more look like they are going to try to jump in through the window here. They're up on top of Haystack right now, but only one. Both of them are actually going to jump up. One actually does block the other one from getting in there, so they'll clear out the apps in a second. And you still have here too the players from LG. They're holding nice and safe back over here on B site. They've kind of cleared out Banana. They've gotten a pretty good sighting on it, so now they are going to start to rotate back as they've gotten wind of what's going on, and especially as Max opens up with the first frag here for Ace Gaming. It's going to start to get crazy on A very quickly. That's a great shot from Peter, though. Takes out Max, and Fly is also going to find 2 more here, hiding out in the pit. Pex is going to grab one finally here for Ace, though, as we see Anger falling, but Naf and Peter once again just clean it right up there, as Ace has eliminated, and Luminosity will now hold a 2-round lead.
Yeah, it's just, at that point in time, Pitt went ahead early on in that round, and it was a little scary because I thought them weakening up that A bomb site might give them a chance, because he goes ahead and peeks into those apartments and immediately runs into 3 Ace players, so they get that early frag. And I thought at that point, all right, you've got a weakness on that A bomb site, you should be able to execute in. But great smokes that were laid down and positioning by both Naf and the other players in that A bomb site, able to hold it off quite well. And so now Ace finds themselves in another Tech 9 buy, so they're pushed up here in alt mid. And they're going to see what they can do here. There's smokes, and actually Monty gets naded down real heavy, so he's only going to get 45 HP. And they're going to try to walk out mid again, and they're going to run in to Pitt one more time and see what he does this time around.
Peter grabs the shot, but Pitt caught out in a weapon swap there, so Monty's going to grab him. Max will pick up another one, and Disciple as well, but Nap is also able to take down Monty. However, we're reduced down to just 2 players now from Luminosity, as Anger and Lex have to try and go for this retake. Lex is going to try to come up mid, but now switching over to the apartments where he might have better chances, and Anger's stuck inside of Library right now. Won't be able to find anything just yet, and giving the guys on Ace plenty of time, but Lex coming in with a fury now. He's going to be able to take out Disciple. They're working their way in. As we see here too, grabs Max. Lex coming out big, and Anger again. Luminosity clean up 1, 2, and 3. Plenty of time for the defuse. And there they go. That's a 6th round for them. Ace Gaming set up so well, but unable to hold. And that's going to be a 2v3 retake coming up from Luminosity's Anger and Lex.
Their post-plant positioning has been really, really tough. Like this, they get those plants down, and then we saw it on the B take. They had a player back in dark, and he decides to peek out and get taken out real early instead of just sitting back. You have the bomb, play the bomb. All you have to do is stare at that and wait for them to come to you. But peeking out, even if it's just to get information, is really dangerous. They're, like I said, they're post plant. And both that round and the one at B, it's just really, really suspect as they get cleaned up. And like you said, Luminosity right now doing a very good job on the retakes, but I have to wonder, you know, if that's more just because Ace Gaming being a little bit too aggressive in their post-plant positioning.
And now we'll see here, too. Again, Ace seeming to split themselves up a little bit more this time around. Two players just outside of Banana. Let's see if they can grab that. Peter, of course, has the op right here and plenty of nades to toss down that alley, so unfortunately we won't really see much Ace action, but this boost, it actually misses! Oh my goodness, and Peter even looking at the legs there. Thankfully Peter did not get shot, but now he's going to fall right back onto the site. However, I think Ace caught on to something now, and as you can take a look and see Peter trying to scout and see if anyone's going to boost there, but not going to be happening. And there's a little bit of play still happening at A, but overall, I think the guys on Ace, they've caught on to exactly what's going to be happening here at B. One more is going to rotate in. It's going to be Lex coming in for the support. That's going to be a nice nade to hold them back. A little bit of damage done to Disciple, but now here we go. The players from Ace pushing up here right now. Lex is primed and ready to go to take these guys out. He just barely gets that spot off onto Pex, and Peter as well grabs a headshot. Down goes Disciple, and now Ace Gaming has to push in with a reduced roster. Peter grabs another one, and Ace, or rather Lex, is just going to come right in to clean things up. Monty will take out Pith, but he's the only one left alive, and he's only got 9 HP, just running around the map like a chicken with his head cut off. And there you have it. Lex will take that last frag. He's going to pick up 3 that round for his team, and now Luminosity, they're running away with this map at the moment.
Well, like you said, Ace looked like they picked up on it. It looked like they figured out that a rotation had happened and that the B bomb site was going to be a little bit weaker, but they took a long time to execute, and they took long enough that Lex coming back over to that B bomb site, that was really the key there, honestly. His positioning, if they were able to get that smoke out earlier and execute onto the B bomb site, Peter was in trouble because he would have been stuck with a close range op battle. And not to say that he can't make some amazing shots, it's just going to be really tough in that bomb site to win those battles over and over again. And so he getting that early frag on the guy that was coming up before he had to fall back out of that smoke really is what saved the take from happening from Ace Gaming. But they're going to lay down some smoke here in mid this time, not allowing to push up anything aggressive. And right now, Ace Gaming is up in these apartments as well as alt mid, trying to gather as much information as they can.
Naf and Pith getting a little bit fidgety, not exactly sure where the push is going to come from just yet. The smoke's landed in mid, but there was no reaction from Ace Gaming to actually push into that, so we're actually going to see Naf fall back into the pit itself, and Pith will be taking himself just off of the A site, which was the library approach. Peter will cover actual mid. Oh my goodness, he could have lined up such a nice shot there, but ends up completely falling back there and tossing out a molly instead. He's going to give up that corner. It's mollied off for now, but he's also going to get smoked off from library as Luminosity Gaming were able to spot him as well. No shots were taken, but a big thing to keep in mind is all of this is a feign from Ace Gaming, and these smokes are going to sell that beautifully. Lex at the moment, he can't even see what's happening here through Banana, but he's got a feeling, and the rest of Luminosity does as well, as now they're going to move Anger into this site. Great intuition coming out here from the side of Ace Gaming. They're still going to be keeping, or apologies, from the side of Luminosity, and there you have it. Anger grabs the first frag as he takes out Max. Over here, though, Lex is going to grab one before he gets taken out by Disciple. Anger rotating over towards the garden, though, just outside of the spools. Nice shots from Pex. Down goes Anger. And now we're stuck with a 3-on-3. And Luminosity having to go for a big rotate. 2 of their players coming up Banana right now. And they have to go completely in on this one if they want to grab it. And as far as the nades from Ace, they don't really have anything, but neither do Luminosity. And this is going to make this just pretty much a dry retake, as we talked about earlier. And these have been a little bit rough, so we'll see what they can grab with this one. First box, nice, easy frag there for Naf to grab. Does no trouble grabbing that one. And hiding in dark here, though, Monty's going to grab another one. Pex at new box here, can't take him out. And Pex, along with Monty, they'll clean things up by taking out Naf and Peter. So Ace Gaming finally able to grab a response, and they're going to take their 4th round.
Yeah, I mean, finally, in that particular case, they get the bomb planted, they position themselves, and they don't over-peek. They sit there in the back of the bomb site. They just play the angles. They play the crossfire. They knew exactly what they had to do. The CTs had to come to them to get to the bomb. So don't peek out and don't get overly aggressive. And that's what they do. The CTs come into them. You're able to get the win there. But, you know, that again, I mentioned earlier, that was like classic Navi Inferno take, right? Come into mid, put some smokes down, play some aggression there, and then all of a sudden, with the last 30 seconds, we just run B. And Luminosity read it fairly well. They rotated the player back there at B. It's just, you know, it's too easy. If you get dropped early on and they get the plant, then at that point, because it's so late in the round, they executed so late. That's the one advantage of executing late, is you're not really going to have a B stack at that point. Is it like you might have 2 players there, but you still have to rotate all of your other CTs back over after the late execute. So that time it works out for them. And here again, they're spread out, all out across the map. But a lot of emphasis in apartments as Pit does get taken out by Vez.
Now we'll see, too. Only 2 players left on the A site, but Ace Gaming really keen to keeping their options open. As you can see, they're still going to push Pex up Banana to see if they are able to grab any quick frags there on a rotation from Luminosity if it does decide to go down. And the bomb itself hasn't even made its way up there just yet, as it looks like the bomb is actually going to join Pex here now. That'll be Disciple carrying that as they once again try to feign play this at B. Lex once more will be the one to hold, and Anger too is now rotating in, but as you can see, Naf is going to be able to take out the only remaining offender on the A site, and immediately Anger, he's going to think that something's fishy. Lex, however, doing a great job here on the B site, already grabbing Disciple, Pex, and now Vez with 3K, almost gets the 4th, but Max is going to be able to take him down. Anger, though, as we said, caught onto that pretty quickly and was able to get himself in a great position to take out Max, and once again, to get Luminosity right back onto the pedestal they needed to, as they're going to take their 8th round and reset the money situation for Ace Gaming.
I mean, it's one of those things where they continue to do the same type of execute, and it's fine, like it can work, but Luminosity has obviously picked up on it. And so the question is, are they going to be able to fake that execute? And it's not really something they can fake because they do the rotate over to the B bomb site so late. It's not like they can wait till 30 seconds, then run away from mid and then run back to A. It's like they're either going to execute on A, and at which point you leave your 3 players there and you can defend it fine, or they're going to execute at B and you have your 1 player rotated back over and you've got, a decent able to rotate over to the B take. So it's going to be a little difficult for them to keep doing this. And finally, they're doing something a little bit different here, but because it is pistol round, they're coming out with the Tech 9s, pushing out apartments as Naf picks up 1-2, and Pit returns or gets 1 more as well. And so now it's Pex who's over here in the fire at Porch. Peter gets 1 with his op, and now it's just down to Pex with the Tech 9. He's going to face off against Peter right now and gets dropped. And so the pistol round take, where they tried to do something a little bit different, was really blocked off by a smoke in apartments, so unable to execute there.
And that's unfortunately just part of Ace Gaming. They have historically, just looking at stats once again, been very, very weak on pistol rounds. So if they get reduced to that, Luminosity Gaming have no worries at all, as that's really where Ace Gaming, although, again, from the strategical side, from what we've seen from these previous few rounds here on Inferno, they definitely have quite a few tricks to pull out of the bag. When it just comes down to the pure aiming on those pistol rounds, they don't really seem to have much to offer, as we have seen not just in the past, but in this match as well. And now we're going to see Luminosity leading at 9-4. At this point here, too. They're also up to another buy. No ops, however, and a couple of Galeals, too, so it is a little bit light. You can see the nades are suffering, too. Only 3 smokes, 1 frag grenade, and 2 flashes for these guys to use, so they are going to be somewhat limited. But overall here, Ace has not been a team that's gone for usual executes, so they're not as reliant on big smoke setups or anything like that to actually get themselves onto the site, but they are going to use what they have now to get themselves cleanly in towards the mid, and unfortunately, however, it's all going to be a little bit out of the way, as they're going to end up getting a 2-for-2 trade. Not the best that they wanted there. Peter going to try to pop out around the corner here, grab a shot. Is going to miss the first one, grabs him on the second time, but then immediately falls down to Max. Another 1-for-1, and now we're down to a 2-versus-2 here. The plant's coming out. Anger might force it out, especially with Lex grabbing that frag, and now, as you can see here, Max stuck in a corner, nowhere to run. He's got to duel versus these players, down to just 2 HP, and Anger will clean it up. That's going to be the 10th round now for Luminosity, looking likely to see an 11-4. As once again here, the guys from Ace Gaming are going to be a little bit limited from the money side of things. They might just force it up, though, because it is going to end up being the last round.
Yes, I mean, that was actually, like, I thought that was going to be fairly beneficial for Ace because, well, the real issue was they didn't put any presence on Banana at all, and so Luminosity, they got the smoke down, and they pushed 2 players all the way down, basically, on that Banana. They had them pushed, and so they knew so much. They could hear exactly when the execute onto A was going to happen. If they had done, they were laying out smokes like they do every other round where they've been doing those B fakes. And actually, I'm going to switch over here because they are working up Bananas, and Lex is actually being really aggressive along with his teammate. So we'll see what happens there. Anger picks up 1, but then they drop him 2 real quick, so they're executing on this B-bomb site quickly this time, which the change of pace is working out well for them as Peter's rotating now.
Peter tosses in a couple of grenades. He's actually going to get a kill with a molly. He'll take down Max with that, and the rest of the team now trying to get themselves onto the site. They're a little bit hesitant because Peter has managed to work his way through construction and is now hanging out inside of the garden. No one going to go directly check that, though, and I like the back position being taken by Peter. The site is being covered by his teammates, so someone may be forced to go and check that one. But as you're going to see, regardless, the bomb will get planted. Naf, along with the other player here, still alive for Luminosity, are going to run into the site. Now, great flash is going to set up for Naf to grab another one. Vez still hiding inside the smoke. They haven't been able to see him just as of yet, but Pitt is going to find him. Down goes Vez, and the final score here in the first half is going to be 11-4 in the favor of Luminosity. Ace, unfortunately, with not much to respond to here on their T side, which, again, that's their better half.
Yep. So, I gotta rejoin here again.
Yeah, same. Unfortunately, the client's not liking us too much tonight for the resets, so we're gonna have to join up once more. But it's not boding well, to say the least, for Ace Gaming. As now, although again we are gonna be playing on Inferno, which does have that slight CT advantage. Regardless of that CT advantage, Ace Gaming has not had too good of a history on their CT side on this map. So overall, Luminosity has to be feeling glorious about the way they played that half, and they're definitely gonna be feeling confident heading into the second half as they're gonna take on the T side.
Yeah. There we go. Finally let me get out of the broken game.
I have to reset my volume again.
But yeah, I mean, it was finally like, they finally did, like I said, that change of pace that got them into that bomb site, but then they were just unable to hold. Their post plants were really awful that entire game, to be completely honest. I mean, oh, that's not going to work. That paste was incorrect.
But yeah, pretty much as you said, the post plants were great for them. It just, unfortunately, 2, maybe even 3 times there, we saw the guys in Luminosity with just some really excellent retakes that, unfortunately, Ace Gaming just couldn't match.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing there, like I said, it was just a matter of, like, how many rounds did we see where they were actually able to get in and get the plant, and then they just lose afterwards. And it's just like a matter of positioning and being overly aggressive with their peaks. That said, I don't want to take anything away from Luminosity's retakes, but honestly, their retakes were pretty dry, to be honest. Like, they didn't have a lot of nades. They didn't really have a lot to work with on their retakes. Now, that last one, they were able to get the smokes down that they needed to cut off Banana, which is, you know, one of those things. When you put someone in Banana to guard the bomb, you know they're going to try to smoke you out. And he actually tried to play up in the smoke as Shadow was seen. That's why he got taken out. But a lot of the times, their retakes have come in with nearly nothing to work with, and Ace still gives it up, which is just a matter of, like, yes, there's common spots that you expect players to be, but I think you either need to, as Ace, they've been throwing a lot of stuff early in the round to, you know, either throw a fake or whatever happens to be, whether it be nades and smokes or whatnot, or early on their takes, and they're not left with a lot of nades on their own, which if they had Molotovs or they had smokes later on to lay down to help them defend post plant, I think that would have benefited them, and I think they easily probably could have ended up with 7 or 8 rounds. But we'll see here. They only pick up 4, and now they've got to face off against Luminosity. See how Luminosity's T side goes. As we're just waiting here. One player did drop, so we're waiting for them to come back.
It's being, I'm trying to remember who this
was
is.
Vez.
Yeah, Vez dropped. So we'll see if we can get Vez back in, and then hopefully we should be resuming without too much of a delay. But don't forget, guys, this is not going to be our last match of the evening. We have another one coming up after this as well, assuming I can alt-tab to the right window. We are going to be heading over. I think Ace is going to play again after this one, actually. So we're going to see Ace take on Team Liquid. That'll be coming up immediately after this map. That's going to be over on Cash, and that will be our last map for tonight. So we got one more map coming up after this one. Don't leave us just yet, as we got to see the conclusion of this match, and then Ace Gaming is going to play once again against Team Liquid, who, coming off of a great victory versus Keed Stars, they are as well have to be brewing with confidence for that match.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
Yeah, I was gonna agree with you there. I mean, coming off of a really good map on Mirage, and then coming up against, you know, a team that obviously has had some struggles in Ace, Liquid will look to be very confident. But we'll see what Ace here can do. Like we said, they've now got Maxaki. He's over in North America. His ping, so defensively, he should be a lot stronger. He was that Opera on their side, so we'll see how he plays with it now on the defensive side. And right now, they don't want to lose the early pistol rounds. There's decoys up in mid, so I imagine at some point we're going to see a B take here. But Ace does have Pex pushed up, so he's ready and waiting. As soon as he hears anything or knows that they're coming, he can make the call for the rotate. And there could be two very quickly, because both Vez and who is the other one, Maxaki, are over by Arch, so quick rotate possible.
Luminosity go for the quick check inside of the apartments, are able to clear things out there, but now they're walking into essentially the lion's nest here. As you do see, a flash comes out, it does fully blind Vez, and they're just going to try and work their way in here. They're checking that corner, but Max still able to pull things off. Naf quick to return, however, so it's going to be a 1-for-1, but Vez was still able to do that damage. Pops over the flash, but instantly gets stopped there by Naf as he's ragdolled right down to the floor, and now here comes the rest of the execute from Luminosity, bringing Pex down to just 3 HP here. Not going to be too good on that hold. He falls back, is going to wait for the rest of his teammates to rotate in, but they're completely blocked off at the moment by Naf. Thankfully, Monty is able to clear that out, and now we're going to see Disciple rolling in over here too. Up Banana, they have been able to get the bomb down, but it's shaky at best here. Now they have to deal with Pex still inside of construction, and two more who are already on the site, and are already starting to defuse things as well. Pex with just 3 HP cleans up Lex and Peter, and there you have it. Ace will take the pistol round, put the score up to 5-11, and that's going to be a great start to the half for this team.
I mean, Pex realistically, like, he played that round as perfect as he could in the situation, right? Because they come in, he pushed up, he got a lot of information, he knew they weren't there. And then as soon as they basically started their execute, which was basically they pushed out mid and they were going to do the wraparound, go through Arch and wrap around to that A bomb site. As soon as he realized that was happening, he falls back into the bomb site. 2 of his players die over at the A. He continues to fall back further into construction, and basically he waits until his teammates can come over and help him and just sits in construction, really low HP, but didn't want to risk losing that man advantage that they could potentially gain back.
Now here we go again here with Luminosity working their way very quickly inside of the apartments. They've already got control, as obviously Ace Kimmy really didn't try to contest, but now they're here on the A site. Monty some nice shots, brings Anger down to 12 HP, but he is also going to reveal his position, so he gets some nice info with that. Tries to clean up with an A, but not going to be happening, and now we have Luminosity coming outside of the boiler and actually going to work their way back down middle. Still trying to decide exactly which site they want to push, but now again working their way back up the mid, and Ace Gaming, no rotations coming out from them just yet. Pex is a little bit shaky, possibly wanting to move back over to A, but now as you see, he's still holding off on B, and here comes the execution once again here from Luminosity. They're going to go through the Arch side, clearing out CT and rush themselves back over here onto the B side. Pex, though, he's going to have a great spot if he's able to get these frags here. He's going to come out huge. Peter as well, but Lex, there you go. He takes out Pex with a nice headshot on his P250. Monty going to grab the first frag, as does Vez here, but Pith and Naf once again will take him down to a 3 versus 2. The bomb's going to go down, and all 3 of the remaining members from Luminosity, they have also grabbed SMGs. But at the same time, they are going to go up against rifles here with Monty and Disciple both carrying those. Not checking that corner just yet here, and they're both going to take huge sums of damage. Peter cleans it up there, and Luminosity will respond right after the loss of the pistol round and take their own 12th round.
Yeah, I mean, they played Pex playing that position there at the tree after the wraparound, which I think that's really a position now where it's checked so frequently that it's all right to sit there, but I think you end up having to be the aggressor. I don't think waiting on that corner, unless you have a teammate who's really drawing a lot of attention, I don't think you have the benefit to be able to sit there and try to catch them. As you know, Lex does peek around and get that shot, and that's really what opened up that entire take for them, because they didn't have to worry, but they knew there was only one player in that B bomb site at that point. So it's one of those where I think you have to start being aggressive there. You have to be the first one to peek on those guys that are rotating through CT spawn.
And speaking of aggressiveness, Peter is going to be able to grab the first kill here as Max does overexpose himself just a little bit in mid, so he is going to lose his life. Back over here too, there is a Molly doing so much damage, and there you have it. Vez and Pex will fall to Naf as he cleans up after the damage has been done. Down goes Disciple, and now it's only Monty sitting over here on the A site with a measly USP. Luminosity Gaming guaranteed a 13th round at this point. Base Gaming slowly getting further and further behind, and looking more and more so like Luminosity just have this.
Yeah, and Ace, with that round lost and the fact that they won the first and then lose those next 2, their money's going to be real tight on this next round as well. So that's obviously, you know, Monty's sitting here and trying not, you know, just not to die to avoid another death here, and maybe try to catch someone pushing him so he can pick up maybe a gun, but there's no reason for Luminosity to risk this, so they're not going to, right? They're not going to peek him. Well, there is someone finally aggressing, but they're going to take distance battles against those pistols, and Lex picks him up, and so Luminosity being wise not to be overly aggressive and potentially drop a gun. And so now, as I said, you look at Ace's money, they're basically going to force up Famis's. They didn't have enough money to buy up the other rifles that they wanted to, so they're going to buy up those tier 2 rifles and pick up as many nades as they can. Do have quite a bit, so their equipment's not bad, but definitely not the position that they wanted to be going into this round when they're down already by 8 rounds.
Ace going to take a much more aggressive stance. Full of Hamasas coming out from their players this time around. Just going to rush down Banana with a nade stack, but Pith holding out here takes out Pex. The rest of the team going to be holding back for now. Pith finds another one as he grabs a collateral headshot on a Monty. Now there's only one player left sitting behind the sandbags at the moment. It's going to be Vez. Goes for the pop flash, but LG Smart holding back. They're going to be out of the harm's way of that one, and this Molly as well going to force Vez right out of his spot, who's going to run anyway, but Pith is going to grab a third frag now, cleaning things up. Back over here towards B, and they've still got Max here. But again, there's also only going to be one more over towards A, and that'll be Disciple, and it looks like Luminosity having caught on to 3 kills at B. They're actually going to rotate towards A and go for the execute there, as they know there probably was a rotation coming out from Ace, and now Disciple will see what damage he can do, but Naf is going to spot him in the head. Another collide headshot does come out there from the side of LG. Naf's going to take him down. Max going to do some damage as he takes out Anger, but now he's on the run as the bomb has gone down, and he's going to try to do whatever damage he can, but unfortunately for him, Luminosity once again have this round pretty solidified. Grabs Peter though, and finally falls to Pith as he takes a 4K.
So we go ahead and we look, just looking at the scoreboard across just to see how this has played out so far. Pitt, obviously, he was really phenomenal. He's actually only gotten 8 kills since about 7 rounds into the first half. So he was at 11 and 4 or something, I believe it was, early on. Now he's only at 19, but he's still at the top of the scoreboard. He did a really solid job in the first half, and right now, really across the board on Luminosity, you look at those scores and no one's really carrying particularly hard. Anger not having the best game, but he doesn't need to because he's got all the rest of his teammates are nearing 20 kills at this point. So,
and now we're going to see here as well, Luminosity splitting themselves up a little bit, but Max again grabbing a kill, picking up a mag and deciding to play inside of the apartments this time. So he's going to scout himself out an AK too and just fall right back onto the site. Now that they have destroyed again here one of the aggressive players from Luminosity. Luminosity still going to try and work their way up Banana here now, as we see them trying to go for a take of control there, but it's smoked off, and unfortunately it is going to take them some time to work up the courage to move in, but it definitely looks like that's where they're deciding to make the push. And Ace Gaming, they've caught on to this one. They've rotated another player over to the site. It's Vez, but again, he's sort of a floater right now, still willing to go back towards A after not really seeing any action here after a couple seconds, but he's certainly going to regret that as LG now setting up the smokes in towards the B side. Here they come for the execution now. Naf is going to be leading the charge here, trying to work his way in. Can he find any shots here? It's all smoked off, and they're going to roll right past this Molotov here. Pith will actually be the first one to pick up a frag. He takes out Max, and now we're going to see here Pex 2 peeks out from the first box. That's going to be a mistake as we see Peter fortunately grabbing a team kill as Lex picks down, or Lex is able to take out Pex. Now we're down to just 2 players from each side. Monty takes out Luminosity Gaming. Naf. Now, as you'll see, the rest of the players from Ace Gaming moving their way over here towards the B side. It's going to be Monty and Disciple. Disciple only with a P250, so won't be able to work with too much here. They do get the spot of Peter, who's sitting behind Newbox, but they haven't checked Dark just as of yet. They definitely have that feeling, but Lex gets that headshot, takes him down. Monty takes out Lex, and now it's all on Monty to take out Peter here quickly enough, but it won't be happening. Peter gets a quick pop. Down goes Monty, and Luminosity Gaming are now only 1 more point away from taking this map.
Yep, so we'll see here, obviously, after that, with the equipment that Ace is going to be able to have, again, and not going to be a full powered buy. They're going to have as much nades as they can. They actually got a deagle just on the back of Vez. They've got just pistols on the back of Pex as well. So this is looking rather dire for Ace, as Luminosity has done a very good job after that first pistol round loss to turn around and pick up the rounds they needed to move this into match point, as they're executing fairly quickly onto Banana. They're getting naded and splashed down a lot, and they have 3 players to deal with, so they got to be careful about pushing this, but that Molly is going to do a lot of damage to those players, and actually now comes up, sprays down 2, sprays down 3, and that's it. They pick up all 3 of those Banana players, and now they have free pass into the B bomb site, and back behind Lex playing that lurker role that he does so often. He picks up 1 more, and now it's all down to McZaki by himself, and he's going to run into Lex. Does pick up that. You'll have to have some crazy heroics here for them to come back into this.
Grabs 1, but is going to be unable to pick up any more, and with that, guys, Luminosity Gaming